In the spirit of reconciliation, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island peoples today. Welcome to Totally Lit, the podcast celebrating reading, writing and creating literature. I'm your host, Kai Garvey. Thank you for listening.
Lellie Lopoter, welcome to Totally Lit.
Thanks for having me on, Kai.
I'm excited to have you. I haven't had many lit people on this year, so it's time to be back to my roots. I'm very excited.
I'm coming onto Totally Lit. It's like being led onto the royalty podcast.
Oh my goodness, I'm blushing already. Really excited to chat to you. You've got a book coming out, Bella Grows a Bicycle.
That's right.
Very cool. Do you want to tell me about Bella and her bicycle?
Okay, so Bella Grows Bicycle is a picture book, and it's about Bella, who is a little girl who wants a bicycle, but unfortunately it's nowhere near her birthday. So she has to find a way to get a bicycle without relying on the bank of mum and dad, because she asked dad for the bicycle and dad says it's too expensive. But dad has an idea. So he gives Bella a tiny seed and she plants the seed thinking, it might be a bicycle seed, but it's not. It's a radish, so she's quite disappointed. But Dad tells her that it's not just any radish, it's a swap berry. And using their imagination, they imagine that the swap berry could be swapped for a bicycle. Bella still doesn't believe him, but Dad goes out into the community and helps Bella swap the radish for a lemon. And then they work together and change the lemon into lemonade. They swap the lemonade to a T-shirt, turn the T-shirt into a tote bag. And what happens is a series of swaps, upcycles, recycles, and those series of swaps, Bella eventually gets her bicycle, sort of spoiler alert there. But she gets that bicycle starting with nothing but a seed and an idea.
So basically bartering and swapping and changing.
Absolutely. So it introduces kids to the swap economy, as well as giving them it's like a modern day little engine that could. Like if you just take small steps, incremental steps, and get a little bit bigger, a little bit better each time, then you can work towards a really big goal, starting with not much at all.
I love that idea. My first bicycle when I was growing up was my cousin's bike, and it was a boy's bike.
Yeah.
And it was green, like a lime green color, and my dad painted it yellow. I don't know why he thought yellow, but that was his way of like zhuzhing it up for me to have a new bike. But yeah, my very first bike was not brand new. And I've also seen some of the local charity shops around here in Brisbane. They take new bikes and do them up. And so they'll paint them bright pink and put sort of like a bell and a flag on it and things, and turn that old bike into a brand new, beautiful bike. Because there is that issue of one, buying something new all the time is quite wasteful, but it also the price and cost of these things these days is starting to be that it's not accessible for kids.
Absolutely. And
something as simple as a bike.
Yeah, and kids grow out of bikes, but bikes don't grow out of kids. So what do those bikes do?
Now, you were telling me a little bit before we started recording that you've been doing some studies about the community. Was your story inspired by some of the research you've been doing for your PhD?
Absolutely. So my PhD, I'm looking at public value. So I wanted to create a book that provided public value. And I thought about, because I'm a lecturer in sustainability, entrepreneurship, business, I'm like the Swiss Army knife of lecturers, because living regionally, you end up delivering a lot more units than most city-based lecturers. But I wanted to bring all my knowledge together and to create a book that would help all kids no matter what their circumstances were, and to provide a skill that would be a skill for life. And I hope that parents get just as much out of Bella Grows a Bicycle than what the kids do. And I wanted a book that they close the book and rather than saying, read it again, they want to clean their room to find things to swap. So inspire action by it.
I do like that you've used a clever way to introduce that concept of swapping and sharing, because you don't want to present the scenario at like the issue is there are some children living in poverty, but how do you present that theme without it being dark and because you still want it to be an uplifting, fun story. So I like the way that you
absolutely
use that tool to make it fun.
Yeah, well, it's a reflection of my own childhood as well. I was raised on welfare by a single mum, so new things just weren't something that we had. I was also the youngest of 4 girls, so I got the hand-me-downs of the hand-me-downs of the hand-me-downs by the time they came to me. So it was something that new things, how to get new things and swapping things and trading things and that bartering system, it became swaps between cousins, it became swaps between sisters, swaps between friends. It really was a skill that I took from my childhood, from my mum's childhood, from my nana's childhood. When I tell the story that when my nan and was pregnant on my mum, her and her best friend had only had single sex kids before. So when mum was born, my nan had only had boys. And when her friend had her child, a little boy called Malcolm, she'd only had girls before. And so those two, 75 years ago, swapped their baby clothes so that mum got little girls and Malcolm got little, shorts and shirts, and that neither of them needed to spend a penny to get the clothes that they needed for their kids, for their babies. And that anecdote has fed down our family, and it's been a way of looking at not having a lot of money or any money in some circumstances and still being able to work towards the goals of getting the things that we want rather than being told, no, you can't have that. It's too expensive, full stop. This is a, no, I can't buy that for you. Your birthday is in 9 months' time. You can wait till then, or you can find a way to get it yourself. And like I said, this is a book about empowering kids to take control of their own wants by looking at the things that they already have and what can they give up to get the things that they want. So it's that goal setting and perseverance, but also that problem solving of, what they want is their own problem. They can
Mm.
make it mum and dad's and put it on their birthday shopping list or their Christmas shopping list, or they can take control of it themselves.
It is an interesting thing. I've been working since I was 14 years old, so
Yeah,
I've always had my own income. So from a young age, I was saving, and I
yeah,
remember when I went off to university, I was so proud of myself. I had $1,000 saved to start my
yeah,
university life, and I'd also applied for a scholarship through our local credit union for books as well. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, I'm ready. I've got everything I need. But it was from that early years of working.
yeah,
And when I was younger, I remember because I love music, and so every week I would want to buy Smash Hits magazine,
yeah,
which was $1.98, and I
yeah,
used to scour the house looking for coins
yeah.
till I had enough. But I'd always find a way to have like $1.98 so I could buy that. That was the thing that I liked. So I didn't want lollies or stickers,
Absolutely.
or just wanted my music magazine.
Yeah. Well, I think
But
that
it is.
determination, that find a way to get something is it's almost a lost art, and I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to put that back into Bella Grows a Bicycle to reinvigorate that sense of being able to take ownership over your own desires and own wants.
Well, being resourceful can be really helpful. Like as an adult, you face challenges and encounter problems that no one else can solve for you a lot of the time, and
Yeah,
you really find out about yourself when you figure out, oh, I've got this bill coming up, but my income is not enough to cover that. How do I
yeah,
make that work? I've been I am very happily married now, but for 10 years I was by myself raising my sons. And there were many times when my fortnightly salary
yeah,
did not cover what our outgoings were. And I'd have to really be thinking, okay, how am I going to make this work? Which bill can be paid now?
yeah,
What can I do to lift myself up out of this so I can provide for my children? And you
yeah,
do find out how resourceful
yeah.
you can be. Um,
Absolutely, and, like, even now people are swapping time for money, and that's every job, every time is time for money, so instilling that sense of everything that you get, you need to give up something, and getting kids to understand their wants can be filled by, the things that they already have, and to look after the things that they have, retain the value in it, and then they might be able to swap the value of that item for something that's more valuable to them at the time.
we're living in such a world of instant gratification as well.
Exactly.
Especially we're sort of trained with social media and with games on our phones and things like that, where
Yeah,
it's instant, instant, instant. Whereas there's many things in life where you have to wait a long time.
yeah,
And I was actually having a look at the on your website, the list of your competitions that you've entered, and I'd
yeah,
looked back at some of your first competitions that you won were 2011. We're now in 2026. I'm like,
absolutely.
You've been entering and writing for a long time there. That takes patience and persistence.
Yeah, no, I actually gave up. So I tried being a kid lit author back in 2011, 2012. Started to get some things over the line with competition, started to get some really good responses, still rejections, but good responses from some publishers. I sent a manuscript off to Penguin for a series that they did called Aussie Nibbles back then, and the rejection that came through came as an apology that they'd just made the decision not to continue publishing that series or taking on new authors. So, and for me, because I'd been a bookshop manager and I'd seen Angus and Robertson, I'd seen what was happening to the book industry, I was finding it difficult to allocate time to writing when I was homeschooling my kids themselves. And I found there was just one night there I was trying to write something for a competition and my own children were annoying me, and then it annoyed me that my own children were annoying me because I thought, "Why am I writing for other people's children when my kids are right here in the room?" And that was it. I put a pin in writing. I put a pin in my whole career, and I spent time with my kids. And so 10 years later, they're grown up now. They absolutely support me going back to my roots of writing for kids and illustrating. But I had to make a tough decision. It was either try and keep pursuing a career that was difficult and competitive and extremely time consuming and possibly risk missing out on watching the best years of my kid's life, or I could pursue it and then regret it afterwards that I'd spent all this time and energy on other people's kids and not my own. And I don't regret giving it up, not one for 1 second. It was heartbreaking. It was like putting a dream in a drawer. It really was. But coming to the end of my PhD, looking at what am I going to do next, and that question sort of weighed very heavily on me. What am I going to do next after this massive piece? This is 7 years of research. What am I going to do next? It came back to, well, what did I give up to be able to do this in the first place? And what I gave up was writing for kids. What I gave up was a career in children's literature outside of being a bookseller and a bookshop manager. And so instead of moving forward from the PhD, I've started to sort of move back and go back to that dream, get it out of the drawer, polish it up. And it's worked for me. I think if I hadn't spent the past 15 years studying business, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now, because now I don't just understand the books, I understand the business, and that's helped me so much getting things across the line.
I have quite a few responses to everything you have said. One, definitely you can never get the time back with your kids.
Yeah.
I also have had times where I've felt annoyed at being annoyed at my children.
Yeah.
I've been trying to I'm just trying to achieve this and I have to stop. And usually because I also work full time and sometimes there's a bit of stress with that. And I
Yeah.
find when the stress at work is escalating, that's when I'm
Yeah.
more snappy. And yes, people, I'm snappy sometimes.
Absolutely. I'm going
And
through the
then I'm like,
menopause at the
oh,
moment.
I'll say, I'm like, I feel really sad that I just had that interaction with someone I love because
Yeah.
of something else. So
Yeah.
yeah, there has been times where I'm like, can everybody just be quiet? I just need 30 minutes to record this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is everybody yelling? Or yeah, just that finding the family balance of I'm wanting to create,
Yeah.
but my family does need me, and knowing that your family should also always come first. So
Yeah.
if you're feeling, oh, this is taking me away from someone I love,
Yeah.
maybe it's not my time, right?
Yeah. Well, I had a saying when my kids were little, and it was that their happiness was too loud. It's like,
Yeah.
"Shh, your happiness is too loud, just turn it down."
Both my boys are neurodiverse, and so there's
Yeah,
sometimes where volume doesn't match their
yeah,
feelings, and it's like,
yeah,
why are we so loud at the moment?
yeah,
And I'm naturally very quiet and reserved, and I'm
yeah,
also an inner thinker, so I live in
yeah,
my head. Whereas my boys, they're everything that pops into their mind comes out, and so there's
yeah,
times when we're not gelling because we just have different existences.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, can the volume just go down a little bit, please?
Yeah,
But it can be a challenge while you're parenting and
yeah,
trying to be creative.
yeah,
But I certainly, my problem with being creative was I thought I could never pursue it, that it was just something I would dream of for the rest of my life and never do.
yeah,
And then I got just before my 40th birthday, I started writing, and then I was like, oh, actually, maybe this is the time now. The boys don't need me as much.
yeah,
And now these days, they don't really need me at all. Like,
yeah,
they just
yeah,
order
exactly.
Uber Eats, which
Yeah,
talk about instant gratification. But yeah, in terms of being fed and looked after, they can do all of that themselves now. So
yeah,
really, we're kind of like flatmates at this point.
yeah, yeah, it's such a liberating time of life, isn't it?
Roomies, but they won't do any of the chores. But
Yeah,
yes, yeah. But
yes,
I
I have a
am glad to
stay-at-home
hear.
son.
Oh, you understand completely.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you're coming back to your love, though. Like, it must
Yeah.
be feeling really good to know things are happening again.
Absolutely. And yeah, it was a very timid coming out of the shell, and I was very reserved about was I doing the right thing, and because during that space that I had of 15 years, I studied everything from certificate twos right up to the masters and now doing the PhD all in business. So I did a very structured approach to coming back and,
Yeah.
did my business plan, did my, business plan for becoming an author, marketing plan, I strategized everything, and then it just became the time my health failed me. In the past 5 years, I've had 12 surgeries,
Oh,
and
wow.
a couple of those surgeries were successive surgeries where I spent 3 months in bed. I was out of bed for a couple of months and then 3 months in bed again, and it really gives you a lot of time to think, a lot of time to strategize, and a lot of time to consider whether or not now is the right time.
Mm,
And for me, it was a case of not only is now the right time, is this might be the last time, the last chance that I
yeah.
get. So let's give it all that we've got now. And yeah, executed the strategy, and I haven't regretted 1 second of it.
It's amazing. I'm just recovering from a surgery week 8 after having a hip
Yeah.
replacement.
Oh, no.
And for me, because I spent 10 years just raising the boys by myself. Then I
Yeah.
met my husband. Then my writing career has taken off, and I feel like I've just finally got traction,
Yeah.
but I now have to stop and just have
Yeah.
a I'm already doing too much.
Yeah.
Already, I'm
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
taking taking too many things on already, and I'm barely
Yeah.
off my crutches. But I certainly understand that feeling of having time to reflect and figure out
Yeah.
what it is that I want for the future.
Yeah.
And I did have a crazy thought today because my birthday is in 6, 8 weeks, and I'll be 49.
Oh,
And it's like,
we're of similar
prac
age.
practically in 10 years, I'll be 60. How is that?
Yeah. Yes.
I even think of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you go through, I think this time of life especially, it's sort of like, oh, actually, there's not gonna be forever
Yeah.
around, and certainly, like, I'm not going to kick the bucket anytime soon, but yeah, it
Yeah.
is that time of life where it's like, "Oh, actually, I may only have 30 years left. That's not a lot of
Yeah.
time to."
Yeah. Well, absolutely, and thinking about what do I wanna leave behind and what do I wanna do in the time that I've got.
And if you experienced in the publishing industry, it does feel like it's gonna take 30 years just to get a contract.
Absolutely. Things happen so slow and then all at once.
So tell me a bit about your current book with 5 Mile. How did that come about? Did you just submit through the slush pile, or
No.
did you meet with them?
Yeah, so I met with online during the CYA conference. I asked for assessments because I still hadn't gotten my confidence enough to be able to submit to the slush pile yet. So confidence was one of those things that I sort of didn't have. I was very late to the party getting my confidence to submit. So I got an assessment knowing that it was not going to be a yay or nay. It was going to be a feedback session of what could I do to get it publisher ready.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of picture books assessed, and she liked this one in particular. And really what she wanted was I presented it in a 32-page, and she was looking for 24-page books at that time. And she asked if I could tighten some of those swaps and bring it down to 24 pages. She'd love to have a look at it. So I did that, and then I sent it off, and then I heard crickets for months. And then out of the blue, I got an email just asking if it was still available. And it was, because I'm not one of these people that just sends out to publisher after publisher after publisher. I really hone in onto which publisher I want to work with and what book I have that would suit their list. And if it doesn't suit their list at the moment, because I've done the research behind it being the best, them being the best one to publish it, there's no point in sending it out to others that it just wouldn't be appropriate
Yeah.
for. I want it to complement a list and not compete with the other titles in it. And it got picked up, and it went from, it took, I think, 9 months before I started to see the proofs, and then everything happened all, very, very quickly. The proofs were rendered, and we had a cover, and it went to Bologna, and it was just brilliant, just really professional and quick.
So exciting.
Yeah.
What are you doing now to prepare for launch in terms of, have you put together, I guess, like a business plan of how you're going to approach
Yeah, I've got a
sharing the book?
massive marketing plan which covers everything, like everything you can imagine. I've just taken it out to some libraries, so they've picked up some workshops, taking it to bookshops to do some signings, and really that's about getting me comfortable in the community. I'm very introverted, very shy, so getting out of my comfort zone is something that I'm learning and developing, and working on, what awards I want to put it forward to. Some it's not eligible for, like the CBCA awards, because it has a illustrator from Italy, Chiara, and she's done a brilliant job, but because of that, it's not eligible for that award despite me being a
Shame.
member. Yeah, but there are other awards that it's eligible for. So looking at what they are and putting it forward for those when those awards open again.
I think being across all that stuff is really important, because I didn't really realize that I could submit my book to awards myself.
Yeah,
So my publisher did put me forward for some awards, but not everything. And
yeah,
and I was like, oh, I didn't actually know I could do that myself. Although some do say there's some awards that have to be submitted by a publisher,
yeah,
but there are some that I could have submitted myself. And I'm
yeah,
kicking myself now because it's 3 years later and
yeah.
it's not eligible because it's published.
Oh, no.
Oh, I wish I knew that.
Yeah. Well, your book actually influenced the writing of my book, Kai. I don't think you realise this. We haven't spoken
I
about this yet.
am thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
You did mention in your email, and I knew as soon as, because I'm immediately going red and getting embarrassed.
Well, it's such a good book. Like, your book is easy peasy. And I did a mentorship through Exile Academy, which is EK
Yep.
Books, and it was phenomenally expensive, but worked with a publisher there or an editor there on how to get a rhyming manuscript into a prose manuscript. And
Mm,
it was an absolutely brilliant mentorship. But throughout that mentorship, I kept looking at what that publisher was publishing. And
yeah.
one of them was your book, Easy Peasy. And I saw, here's a girl and a dad spending time together. The girl is, very strong-willed, stubborn, doesn't want dad to help. And it was just such a beautiful story about the relationship that a father has with a daughter.
Mm,
And I grew up without a dad, so everything that I've witnessed between a father and a daughter has been between my husband and my daughter.
mm,
And because I grew up without a dad, I thought that I didn't have any authority to write that relationship. But because I've witnessed it so much, then I thought, well, that's what I want in my book. I want
yeah.
an exchange between a father and a daughter, and something that is a skill being passed on, just that experience, that building a skill for life.
Mm,
And yeah, I when I saw that in your book, I thought that's what I want for my book, and it's
Oh,
because
thank
it's
you
in the
for that.
market and it's there at the moment, and, Bella it's very much like Easy Peasy where the story builds on itself, and it's like the little engine that could, like, it's, "Is she there yet? Is she there yet?" And with Easy Peasy, she keeps falling down and getting back up, falling down and getting back up, and with Bella, she keeps trading her way up to get what she wants. So both of them, one is building a skill, and like your book is building that skill of resilience. So that's the strategy, and Bella is the operations. And I thought those two books, that they'll just, hopefully the readers of Easy Peasy will like Bella Grows a Bicycle, and the readers of Bella Grows a Bicycle will like Easy Peasy.
I feel like that I need to go to the local bookshop and put them together. I can take a
Yeah.
photo of them next to each other when
Yeah.
they're both out.
Yeah. Well, it'll make a good Father's Day set.
I'm definitely going to tell my dad that you liked Easy Peasy because
Yeah.
I would not say I'm as stubborn as Ruby in terms of when Dad taught me to roller skate. I
Yeah.
just did. I just
Yeah.
learned. So
Yeah.
there wasn't, but I did want to reflect that relationship and also that it's okay to ask for help because
Yeah.
resilience is so important. But sometimes you are getting up over and over again, and sometimes it's just okay to say, "Oh, actually, I need someone else.
Yeah.
Someone help me.
Yeah.
I need an adult." But
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of the way I've always lived my life is that I just keep getting back up again.
Yeah.
And my parents have both been very supportive to me. Dad especially, well, because there's one regret I have is that with my own sons, I create kind of ended up in a situation where they haven't had the dad that I had. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they're not getting that lovely experience of having a dad that always has your back. But my dad has been there for them as well.
Yeah.
Uh, Now I have my lovely husband who treats my sons like they're his well. So
Yeah.
luckily it's all worked out in the
Yeah.
end.
Fantastic.
But yeah, life just throws you things, and yeah, you've just got to
Yeah.
figure out how to respond to it. And
Absolutely. And play the cards that you've been dealt.
so, what is next? Have you got more manuscripts out in the world waiting for
Well,
yeses?
I've got a few that I'm working on that I haven't actually put out into the world yet. I do have one which is a follow on from Bella that's already with 5 Mile for consideration. That was part of my contract that I give them the next one. And then I've got an author's residency coming up in October with the Nantian Temple.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm putting sort of everything on hold until I do that residency so that I've got that time to write. And because that's October at the moment, what I'm focusing on is my thesis, which is unfortunately it's 140,000 words and it can only be 74. So I'm just going through delete, 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 killing all my darlings, all this work. So that's unfortunately taking a lot of my time and focus at the moment. But hopefully I'll have that submitted for examinations, and then any changes that I need to do before that can get submitted for the award, then that would be hopefully all finished before October. So I
That's a
have
lot of work ahead of you.
not just the time at the temple and the peace of the temple, but I also have the space within my own head to be able to either work on things that I've already got and put a pin in, or create something new while I'm there.
And that's a Buddhist temple, is that right?
It is a Buddhist temple. So the residency, they take it on, I think, 15 children's authors and illustrators every year and provide them space for free so that they can to work on whatever it is that they want. You can put in an application every year. It was one of the things that when I first saw the opportunity, there was something about it. It just spoke to me. It's like, I need to be there. I need to, and I'm not a Buddhist by any means. I was raised Catholic, but something about the serenity of those photos called to me, and I thought, I if I get in, then I'll be able to find a way to give back, and,
Yeah.
to find a way to help them on their mission.
That sounds very exciting. I might have to look into that for next year.
Yeah.
'Cause I have submitted for a few residencies but haven't been successful. as yet.
Yeah.
But the challenge I find, because you need to have a project first, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I need the time to create the project. I don't have the
Yeah.
project yet.
Well, the
Um,
project that I submitted was it's called Colby's Collection, and it's about a little boy collecting things, and that was what I submitted for it, but it's a work in progress.
yeah.
It's not over the line yet. It's just so that I had something to say, "This is what I'm working on," or "This is what I can work on there," but they're very open that you can work on anything once you get there.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
And, yeah, it was almost serendipitous because I got the yes for that, and then shortly afterwards, I got a apology from the school magazine saying that they had taken on one of my pieces and forgot to tell me about it. So all of their
Awesome.
checks and balances are done, and, yeah, would I sell them a piece that I'd submitted, which was also on collecting and why I think all kids should have a collection.
Sounds like everything is coming up Lellie Lopoter at the moment.
Absolutely. Yes. Pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Well, I am so glad that you have persevered and come back round to Kidlit. It
Yeah,
can be a challenge to be in the industry, and especially once you get on the other side, though, like connecting with the kids and all of
yeah,
the activities you can support, and just the fun when the first time someone says to you, "This is my favorite book," oh, it's
yeah.
magic.
Oh, I had that moment. I genuinely had that moment only a weekend or 2 ago. I was doing a book signing in Shepparton, and a little boy walked in with his dad and called back, "Hey, that's my pen pal," and he's pointing to
Oh,
one
that's
of my
cool.
books, and, like, I was in Shepparton. I've not done a author pen pal for any schools in Shepparton. This little boy was from a neighbouring town called Tatura, and I'd done
That's
the
the
author
school
pen
I'm
pal.
working with this year.
Oh, they're brilliant. Well, shout out to Mason. Hi, Mason.
Oh, they're amazing, that school. I got 3 packets from the school, each with
Yeah.
each class's letters, and
Yeah.
because in past years, the schools have sent me, like, an email where the teacher has written the letter and it's got a photo of
Yeah.
the kids, but this
Yeah.
one, like, there's, like, 60 letters there, and they've all got
Yeah.
drawings, and,
Yeah.
I was just I was crying. I
Yeah.
was each
Isn't that
letter, I'm like,
amazing?
"Oh, this is
Yeah.
beautiful."
Yeah.
But I have to make time this weekend to sit down and write back to everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay." I've got
Yeah.
to think of things to, but luckily, because 'cause they're all personalized letters, I can respond
Yeah.
back to each one. So
Yeah.
a lot of them ask me, "Why is there a duck in Easy Peasy?"
Yeah.
And the real answer is, "I don't know."
Yeah.
My lovely illustrator put that awesome duck in that everybody loves him. So,
Yeah. Well, I've got a cat in Bella grows a bicycle for the same reason.
the illustrator gets to tell a different story to the what the author tells. But I suppose
Absolutely.
you have that experience because you've been an illustrator as well.
Yeah, so I like to illustrate for other people's books.
Yeah.
I'm a bit too critical for my own, I think.
It is fun to have a someone to collaborate with, though. I
Yeah.
liked
Well, I'm such a team player, and, yeah, I like working with a team and working helping other people make their dreams come true. And, what I really like supporting is Daisy Lane Seeds do some collaborative books, and it raises money for the Indigenous Literacy Foundation, and they do an amazing job, absolutely amazing job. So when I saw that they were supporting that foundation, I thought, well, I need to try and support them. So when they put a shout out for illustrators, and I'll stick my hand up every time because I think it's a project and a program that's worth supporting.
I haven't worked with Daisy Lane per se, but I have featured in their Inspiring
Yeah.
Minds magazine,
Oh,
and that
wow.
was fun. But yeah, I love the whole team there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really put thought and care into what they publish and how they
Yeah.
impact, like, the world around them. Like, they've
Yeah.
always when they do a project, it's about how it will do good in the world. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, Daisy and I said they also do a YouTube channel, which I watch from time to time, and one of the authors on that is where I first learnt about the temple residency because she'd done it
Oh,
herself. So
good. Karen
it's
Hendricks, lovely.
yes, so
She's such a
and she
lovely
did,
lady.
oh, for Treasures of Bodhi or Treasures from
Yeah.
Bodhi,
That's just
and
come out,
that
I
book's
think.
just Yeah, it's literally
Yeah.
I've got it ordered at my bookshelf, so I haven't got my copy yet. But yeah, like, and it's funny how things that, it's a web, I think Kidlit community is, and
Yes.
everything is connected.
But I was actually at an event yesterday with Lauren Hackney, who's connected to
Yes.
those guys as
Yeah.
well. So she's got her book coming out. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Panda is coming out
Panda,
soon.
yes, with the cow.
So it is funny. There's just little ripples. Everybody's connected
Yeah,
to everybody, and you
yeah,
learn new things. Yeah, in the strangest places sometimes as well.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's been lovely to chat to you. I am thrilled to hear that your book was inspired a little bit by Easy Peasy. So I'm going to have
Absolutely.
to order your book and get some inspiration from that for my next manuscript.
If you send me your address, I'll send you one as soon as I get back
Oh,
home to
thank
look it up.
you. But you've got to get your PhD finished first, priorities.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love my family to bits, but the quarantine has been brilliant.
You've just got to put your head down, get it
Yeah.
done, and then you will be Dr. Lellie Lopoter.
Oh, no. Perish the thought.
Oh, thank you for joining me.
Thanks so much, Kai.
Thank you for listening to Totally Lit, and don't forget to go out into the world to read, write, create, ignite.